Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So a bunch of people were talking about this surprise twist that George R. R. Martin was teasing with a character that's dead on the show but still alive in the books. So Winds of Winter will have this big twist that we won't get to see on the show. There are a couple really big possibilities, but in order to talk about them, I'll just have to say spoiler warning for everything that's happened on the show so far and everything through Dance with Dragons. So careful for spoilers for all that stuff. We're going to be speculating about Winds of Winter because that seems like where the big twist is going to be happening. And there's a new round of the giveaway since the DVD's coming out. It's a copy of the DVD. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So we can actually have a lot of fun with this. What's the most fake twist you could think of? Shireen Baratheon, dead on the TV show, still alive in the books, teaches the Onion Knight or finishes teaching him how to read and gets him to start writing novels about his time as a smuggler. No, really though, what are the two big characters that George R. R. Martin could be talking about? Dead on the TV show, but still alive in the books. There are two really big characters. One, Stannis Baratheon, and two, Barristan Selmy. Barristan Selmy is supposed to have a POV chapter in Winds of Winter, so I would consider him an even bigger candidate. But the way they leave Stannis in the books, he's getting ready for what seems like the Battle of Winterfell. So we're into full-blown speculation territory, but it's possible that if Jon Snow comes back, Stannis Baratheon could win the battle for Winterfell and free a resurrected Jon Snow of his oath to the Night's Watch. I know a lot of people are wondering about Jon Snow. Does that mean that his oath to the Night's Watch is still valid? Because technically he died, and the oath is supposed to end when you die. But it does seem like in A Dance with Dragons, the way they're setting Stannis' character up is that he will be successful, whereas TV show Stannis was not successful in his battle against the Boltons. It just seems like the TV show is going to do a bigger version of the battle for Winterfell, but there's only going to be one version of that in the books. It's going to be Stannis that leads the charge, it'll be successful. But then after it's done, someone will have to fill the vacuum. And if Jon Snow's resurrected, he could totally compel him to take over the area, knowing that Jon Snow is an honorable person that he can trust. But a lot of that depends on what the future of the Stannis character is in the narrative. Is the same thing that happened on the TV show, like him kind of ceding the narrative to the Jon Snow character, gonna happen in the books too? Or will Stannis be around to the very end and end up sacrificing himself in some big battle with the White Walkers? Really, what I'd like to see the books do is give Stannis a more honorable version of what happened to him in the show. Like he just keeps going, like he refuses to give up and he ends up falling in battle with the White Walkers instead of getting his ass handed to him like he did by the Boltons on the TV show. So I don't want to see him on the Iron Throne or anything like that. If there's anyone that's going to be saddled with the task of rebuilding the kingdom after whatever war with the White Walkers ends up happening, then I'd really like to see a more unlikely candidate. And right now I know everyone looks at like Jon Snow and Daenerys as two really big figures. Like Jon Snow, if he really is secretly a Targaryen, then it would be totally legit for him to end up getting married to Daenerys and then ruling over the kingdom. But it sounds a little cliche. It's like the obvious ending. It'd be a little more interesting if Tyrion were left to rebuild the kingdom. And George R. R. Martin has said numerous times that Tyrion's his favorite character. That doesn't guarantee that he's going to survive, but I do think, whatever he ends up doing, he will be around to the very end to see what ends up happening in the aftermath. So just to recap, I think the big twist that he was talking about, the most likely candidate for that person is Stannis Baratheon. But jumping over into the east, another big possibility for that twist is Barristan Selmy. Not quite as likely as a Stannis Baratheon twist, but still, if he's going to be a POV character, he's going to be pretty huge. I don't know if it'd be as big of a WTF twist, but there's the second Battle of Meereen that they've been teasing for Winds of Winter. Like the first Battle of Meereen is when Daenerys took it. There was this big battle, she took Meereen, now she's stuck on her own dealing with Dothraki, and her small council led by Barristan Selmy is stuck in Meereen to deal with the current situation. There's the bloody flux, and there's the army from Yunkai that's marching on them. Remember, even though Daenerys has largely pacified Slaver's Bay, the minute she leaves a big city, all the old rats just rush right back in, so Slaver's Bay is still just as big a problem as it was 2 seasons ago. In the books, Tyrion hasn't become part of the small council yet. He just arrives in Meereen, so he's relatively new to the area, but he arrives as the bloody flux is becoming a really big problem. But because of what Barristan Selmy has already been doing in Meereen, it's starting to look more like a Daenerys version of King's Landing. She has her own Queen's Guard. They're newly anointed knights that Barristan Selmy will lead, so we could have this giant victory in the second Battle of Meereen. That would be a big twist that the show is not going to be able to do because he's dead on the TV show. What are some other possibilities for characters that are dead on the TV show but alive in the books? Well, there's Jojen, there's Mance Rayder. What's going on with them? Jojen is kind of stationary right now, so I'm not expecting a big WTF twist from him. Mance Rayder was glamored by Melisandre to infiltrate Winterfell. There could be some big WTF twist. He could wind up killing one of the Boltons as part of this larger battle for Winterfell. Myrcella is still alive in the books. She was originally betrothed to Trystane, but they're making arrangements. The Lannisters have been making arrangements to bring her back to King's Landing, so that seems like it's going to be null and void. Not really expecting a giant WTF twist from her that would be bigger than anything that Stannis or Barristan Selmy could do. But let me know in the comments, who do you think that George R. R. Martin was talking about when he said that a character that's still alive in the books is going to have some big twist that we won't get to see on the show? And what do you think that twist is going to be? Remember, this is just speculation, so technically I don't consider it spoilers, but you do have to talk about stuff that's already happened in the books. While you guys figure that out, I'll say congratulations to last week's giveaway winner. Remember, it's for a Season 5 DVD or Blu-ray, whichever you guys want. KD List. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact info. And yes, I do think that they're going to be dropping the first big full trailer when the DVD is released. So probably in 2 weeks, but they might drop a few teasers for that before that happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're still on trailer watch big time. While you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here to learn all about the Long Night and like a brief history of Westeros in the East. And you can click here for all my Season 6 teaser videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.